Rural Lifestyle, brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
I'm ready to pull up this next design, which has been programmed into the machine, and I'll pull it up and program in the thread colors, which is going to be stitched in tan, which is needle number 1. And then I'm going to run a trace and to make sure that the design fits in my hoop. And I've got it marked where I want it to stitch. And I'll just run the trace, and that way we don't need to worry about it crashing into the needle crashing into the hoop. And we can see exactly where the design will stitch when it's actually stitching. And we can see exactly where the design will go, and it has plenty of room in this hoop. And this is a design that I've digitized for this university, their logo for their rodeo. And I just need to push start, and it will start stitching. We can speed it up. We can run the machine at different speeds. This is a fairly simple design to stitch, and so we can run it a little bit faster. This is being stitched on a rope bag for this group, and we can stitch on garment bags, bridle bags, boot bags, saddle pad carry bags, and then of course our horse blankets and horse sheets and fleece sheets. Also, we do halters and coats. Our Carhartt and Byrne brand of coats, we can stitch on the backs of those, or on the front, and do a farm logo, or just a ranch name, or just a person's name, whatever the customer prefers. We customize it. They can choose the color of bag or coat, and then they choose the color of thread that they want. So we can really customize it to whatever the customer wants. On the bigger items that are ordered, like our bags and our blankets and coats, the customer places the order, and we print out our work order, and then the customer is mailed a confirmation sheet, which allows them to read over the order and make sure it's exactly what they want. And if there's something that they want to change, they can call us and make any changes. We wait a week before we actually stitch the item, and that way it allows the customer time to make any changes. And then if we haven't heard back from the customer after 1 week, then we go ahead and make the design on the computer and send it over to the machine and stitch it. On a custom logo like this that needs to be digitized, there is a $50 digitizing fee, which is paid when they send us the design, and then I will digitize the design and come up with a stitch count, and that is what determines the price. The pricing is on the stitch count. Once the digitizing fee has been paid, then that doesn't need to be paid again. We have the design on file, and the customer can order as many items with that on there, and that fee is just a one-time fee. This is how we cut our overlay for our halters. This is a nylon webbing, and these are soldering irons with special tips on it, so it just melts our overlay. and we just line it up. We have different plates for the different sizes. So like this is a large nose piece, and you just line it up, press it down, and it cuts it right off. This machine is set up to stitch our overlay for our halters, and I've got the design programmed in on this one to stitch this. And the thread color is navy, and I'll just get it lined up on the piece of overlay. We're going to stitch on this silver piece of overlay, and I'll run a trace so that we can get it centered on our overlay. And on this clamp I have several pieces of overlay stitched or on here. So these are actually going to be sewed on to several different halters, and it's much more efficient if we can put several pieces of overlay in a clamp at a time. And when they're done stitching, we trim them up, and there's some adhesive backing that holds them in here, and we'll take that off, and then they'll be ready to sew on the halters.